Okay, so this one's gonna take a little bit longer. New file in Photoshop. I don't have anything on my clipboard yet, so I'm gonna actually go and look for the image first. I made a plus sign, and I'm gonna just type in person with acne. Person with acne. I'm gonna go to images. I'm looking for somebody that is like having trouble. Here's a good one. They have a lot of things going on, and it's a big image, so I'm going to put that out there for you guys. You can use it too. You can copy image, and then I'll be able to go to, or actually I'm going to save the image so I can upload it for you guys too. And I'll just save it on my desktop as acne. Save. Okay. Now I'm going to copy this image. Like, you're not going to need to. You're going to be able to go do it from Canvas. So I right click, copy image, and I go to Photoshop, and it should know that I have something on the clipboard that's 1920 by 1080, and I'm going to bump up the resolution 150. This is not something you have to do, but I just find it useful. 150, enter. And then I'm on the crop tool, so I'm going to get off the crop tool, and then I'm going to go Control V. Now, there's my picture. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the background layer down here. If you don't see layers, anytime you don't see anything, you go Window, and you go to Layers. Make sure it's turned on. So now I'm going to make a copy of it. So I right click, and I duplicate the layer. So right there is duplicate layer. And what I'm going to do with that bottom layer is I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to also lock it. This is going to be what I compare to in the end, and I'm going to have you only turn in the top one, but I want you to be able to look at the difference. So I'm going to just zoom in on this just a little bit because I want to be as detailed as possible. And we're going to start out with the patch tool. The patch tool is over here. It might be under one of these tools, but it should look like that. And all you can do with the patch tool is you don't make big moves with this, you make small moves. So I just find spots of her skin that are kind of splotchy. First of all, I'm on the wrong layer, so I'm going to make sure I'm on the right layer. And now I can move her skin to another part of her skin that's a little better. I'm going to go up to her forehead and do this a little bit too. I'm just doing a little at a time, because if you do too much at a time, it'll start to smudge. So I'm just going to take a little bit at a time until I get a real good piece of skin to work with. Some I'm going to do bigger than others, but I'm trying to remove her sort of blemishes here, and I'm moving it up into the skin that I've already fixed. There's some things that looks like they're moles, and I'm not going to necessarily mess with those. I'm going to just move things that I know for sure are things that are acne or blemishes or things like that. Sometimes you want to be careful if someone has a lot of acne and they don't want to be conscious of it. You don't want to like remove it and find out that they were offended. Now this turned white because I moved it too far, so I'm just going to move it back into this area. So I'm just going to go a little bit further. This one's a tough one. I'm just going to move that up, and then small moves, getting as many of these as I can, and getting this one. This on her nose, move up on her nose. Like, you want to move to areas that have the same skin tone. So like this would want to move that way. This one would probably want to move down. This one I'd probably just barely move it a little bit. I don't like how it smudged her hair out, so I'm going to Command Z, do that again really quick. Command Z, okay. So I'm just going to try to move a little less. So let me try again. A little less in, there we go, just a little bit. And then I'm still seeing some blemishes up here, some uneven skin. And this is what I want you guys doing, is taking this photo, is making it look as clean as possible. This is a tough one right here. You don't want to get rid of her smile line, so you're going to stay inside of her smile line and kind of move it up to there. I'm going to hold my space bar down and go down. Find this. There we go. There we go. And I'm moving kind of fast. And all I'm doing is I'm just taking little spots, circling them, and then dragging them. Circling them, dragging them. Can't tell what this is, so I'm just going to kind of fix it a little bit. I don't want to do too much or she'll start looking different. I'm going to be real careful around her lips. I just want to get away from the sort of redness that she has around her lips. But I don't want to ruin her lips. So Go again here and go to some lighter skin. That looks like a blemish. Okay, I'm getting pretty close here. Alright, so I see some problem ups here. Make her hairline a little cleaner. And still some more in here. So you kind of got the idea. I don't know what this is, so I'm going to just move this too. Okay, so already if I turn back on that back layer and I turn it off and on, you can see the difference that I made with just the acne. But I don't want to stop there. I'm going to turn back on the top layer and turn the bottom layer off. And again, it should be locked. Yes, it is. Okay, so now I'm going to use my space bar and move the screen. I want to see if I can fix her lips a little bit. So what I'm going to do is actually try to circle in this red area with that same tool, and I'm on the wrong layer again. So now I can just drag it to some part of her lip that has sort of that color, and I'm trying not to get her teeth. Just want to bring it down a little bit and just get more, and put a line in there, so I don't want to be careful with that. I want to move it down in there, get a less of a line. Okay, so already I'm seeing a little bit of improvement on her lips. I see that I have a little bit of spot here where I want to make it lighter, and this one right here a little bit lighter too. I want you to be nitpicky, because someday you'll work for somebody that is nitpicky. And let's see, I'm going to move this around, spot underneath her eye there. Now, I haven't improved everything. You can see there's still some splotchy skin and stuff like that. But what I'm going to do for that is different. Let me finish up her chin a little bit here. Just a couple more spots that need to be smoothed out. Okay, so now I have a pretty good, her lips are a little bit better. Not perfect, but it can't be perfect, but we'll try. There. So anyways, the next thing is I'm going to just sort of the shine and some sort of off-balance skin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the eyedropper. And I'm going to eyedrop part of her skin that I like. So I feel like down here is pretty smooth skin. I'm going to click twice with the eyedropper, and I got to make sure I'm on the correct layer. But now you'll see over here the color is the color of her skin. And now I'm going to go to the paintbrush, and I'm going to turn the brush way down, like down to 11. That's fine. And then I want to make my brush just a little bit bigger. And I'm looking at it like a makeup pad or something like that. I want to make it pretty big, like this. Okay, so now I have it set to 11%. So that's flow. I meant opacity. So let me turn the opacity down instead and bring the flow back up. So now, if I didn't have the opacity down, it would look like this, and it would be really harsh like that. And I don't want that. I want it to be like makeup. So I'm gonna go to something like 13. I'm just gonna dust and every time I click, I'm adding 13. So every 10 clicks, I should be at about 100%. But I'm going slowly and kind of looking at it, going, okay, do I have the skin tone matching? Slowly, it starts to match and even out her skin up here. I might even want to go up into there, but I don't want to get into the dark parts too much, because that will, it'll also get rid of the shine, and then some of the things like her eyebrows coming out. And I'm going to go over here and just kind of give her some dabs as well. And then I want to get under here because she has some shine down here. Maybe little pockets of her eyes. I'm kind of going to go over, her eyes are a little dark, so I'm going to try to fix that a little bit with this, so it's kind of smoothing out the skin a little bit. Do the same thing down here a little bit. Over here, and you can see I'm running out of room with my brush, so I'm going to bring my brush down a little bit. I'm just going to brush over here, and then I'm going to hit this shine right here, and I'm going into this side of her face. Do the same thing under her eyes. Just get it until there's not some dark circles. I might want to go back over this one with this small brush now too, just until I don't see dark circles underneath her eyes. It's a little bit better. A little shine in there, a little shine in here. I do want to keep the shine on her nose, so I'm going to leave that there. I'm just going to kind of paint a little bit in here, so it's not shiny above her lips, and emphasizing that. I'm going to go dust her chin off like I would with makeup. And we're getting much better here, I think. So I'm going to now, I'm going to kind of add a little color to her lips. So I'm going to do the same eye drop trick. I'm going to go find a little pinkish part of her lip right there and go to the brush tool. It should already be correctly at 13%. So I can just give a little dusting over lip, not much, just a little bit. And then the next thing I might want to do is kind of whiten out her eyes a little bit. So I'm going to take the quick selection tool, and I'm going to select the whites of her eyes. If I just click on them, you should be able to get them. And then I'm going to go to adjustment layers, which is a little half circle down here. And I go to brightness and contrast. And I'm just going to kind of bring the brightness up, and that'll only affect that part of her eye. So I can make it super white, or I can just bring it to more natural. So I'm just going to give it a little more natural like that. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. So I click the zoom tool, and I hold down Option, and I click a couple times, and I'll click back in. It's too close. I want to be sort of in between here, so I'm just going to drag until you get there. Now I can see her hair. I don't really like how her hair looks kind of oily and stuff like that, and kind of wispy. So I'm going to start out by just using the clone stamp tool. This is something we haven't used really a lot, so I'm going to up it just a little bit so it's big enough to make a difference. And what I'm going to do is hold the Option key down while I click right here on the hair, and then I'm on the wrong layer, so I'm going to go back to the correct layer where she is at. I'm going to click again right on her hairline right here, and then I'm going to come over to here, and if I paint, you'll see there's a little plus mark showing me that it's painting her hair from above. So, and you can see it's going to have some problems, so I just kind of go back up and click again. I Option click, I click back here, Option click, and click back here. And I'm trying to give her a little bit more hair on top, so I'm going to go back up here, and then I'm going to go up a little higher, like that. And some of it will look inconsistent. We can fix that later. But I want to have her hair kind of coming down this way, and I want to kind of sample some different areas of her hair. So, and I don't want that, so I'm going to go fix that. So I'm sampling different parts of her hair, and I'm trying to take a long stroke so it gives me long pieces of hair. And I go down here, and right here I have this piece right here that I might want to emphasize, so I can click right here, kind of just move over a little bit and kind of get more of that flow to her hair there. And I'm going to go Option, click, get a little bit more. And this isn't awesome, but this is good enough. And I'm going to try to use this piece right here and kind of help move this out like this. And then I'm going to go over here and sample the background, and I'm going to just kind of erase where I don't want the hair sticking out. So I'm doing this again. Click up here, Option click. So I keep my hand on the my finger on the Option key a lot, and just kind of Option click, come back, Option click, come back. You'll see down here it gets a little splotchy, but we're going to fix that. So I'm still just trying to clean up the background. And then I get this weird thing down here, so I'm just going to kind of sample up here and then go down here and just drag and just get rid of it. Okay. So there's other ways to do that as well, but I've kind of given her a little bit more hair. And then I want to give her some more hair on this side too, so I'm going to go Option click right here and just kind of start further out and just give her a little bit more hair this way. I don't want to get her ear, so I'm going to try again here and bring this down here. Kind of cover up her ear. Go up here and then come down here. Wherever you Option click is where it's going to reference. So if I come down here now, I actually might want it to come as see that. I want it to kind of come back, so Option. And then I'm going to use some of this hair. Just like that, and I'm going to have this come down a little bit more behind her neck. So if you looked at it without thinking too much, you wouldn't really notice that this hair is completely different, but it does look a little bit thicker now. Now I'm just going to use the patch tool again, just to kind of fix some of these areas that just need a little help to make it look more natural. This is kind of not looking good, so I'm going to go up here. There, that gives me some longer strands. So now if I go back and forth between the picture I've got, this is what I started with, this is where I'm at. I do feel like her forehead is a little high, which is not a bad thing, but I just want to go to make sure I'm on her layer. And then I'm going to go to filter liquify. And I'm just going to go down to her forehead and just bring it down just a little bit like that. Not much. And then I'm going to maybe take the lower lip and kind of bring it down just a little bit, a little less. Maybe like that. I don't know. I'll click OK. Maybe you can give her a little smile. Why not? So move the mouse and just give her a little bit more of a smile, just barely. Okay, she looks a little happier. Right now, yeah, we'll go with that. And then the next thing I want to do is take this layer and I want to go to the adjustment layers again and go to hue and saturation. And then I'm going to turn the saturation up, kind of give her a more orangey feel, like that. And then I can decide if I want to have eyes of the same color. So I'm going to go ahead and take these layers. Now that I kind of like what I've got, I'm going to take these layers and just combine them by holding the shift key down like that. And I'm going to go merge layers right here. And there, now the changes are kind of final in that area. And again, I can still go back to my old original image and see where I was and where I am. I want to change her eye color, so I'm on that top one, and I go to the quick select tool, and I'm going to click on her eyes. Got to make sure I'm on her correct layer, and then I'm going to go to hue and saturation. It might be hard to change her eyes because they're so bright, but we're going to try. So I can give her, I want to give her some more saturated color in her eyes, but not red. More wanted blue. Yeah, it's looking weird. So maybe I'll just leave them like that. And then I'll go to the darkness down here, the lightness, and just bring down the lightness just a little bit so she has more of a dark blue eye like that. Maybe a little less saturation, so her eyes don't look too dark. Like that. Okay, so at this point, this is what I want you to turn in, and you will always have the other one you can look at, but I just want this one turned in, so I'm going to go to this right here and go to File, Export, Export As, and you can do it as a JPEG actually because it's a pretty good format for it. And I'm going to export it and save it as Acne Fix. Save it, and then turn it in as a JPEG, and you are done with the assignment for today. But you should have a much better photo than the one you started with.